On this edition of the Mad Cow Morning News Show, what's the best way to honor the memory of 9/11's 3,000 murder victims? Ask the questions they cannot, and also continue to expose the FBI's massive 9/11 cover-up. Take recent revelations about the secret military intelligence unit called Able Danger, which was tracking terrorist ringleader Mohammed Atta in the U.S. in 1999 and 2000. The unit was disbanded in early 2001, according to reports. But what if it wasn't? Meet Bob Simpson, the day driver for Yellow Cab of Venice. According to Simpson and other Venice Yellow Cab employees interviewed by the FBI, during the month before the September 11th attack, Atta took numerous cab rides to and from Huffman Aviation, when he has to say may shed new light on military surveillance of Atta.
The FBI wanted to talk to you, right? They called you right after September the 11th?
Yes, 3 days after 11th. They left a message on my answer machine. I came home that evening from work and they said, "This is Joe Anderson from the FBI. You can reach me at such and such number. I need to talk to you immediately." I called him that evening and he answered right away. They just wanted to know if I had driven them from Huffman Aviation anywhere in town.
Was the FBI asking questions of the night driver and yourself about riding Atta around?
Yeah, he asked both of us. He asked them. They were more adamant about talking to the night driver, and from what I recently found out, he had driven around a whole lot more than me, because I'd only driven him around a few times. Joe Jessel was the night driver. He told Simpson he was a former U.S. Navy SEAL. He worked as the night driver for Venice Yellow Cab for only 1 month, August 2001, corresponding with Mohammed Atta's last month in Venice. Was Gessel part of U.S. military surveillance of Atta, which continued after the Able Danger unit was disbanded? True to form, the FBI appears uninterested in Atta's final days in Venice. They never asked me about the summer. They never, like...
Well, when were they asking about?
The winter, when they were here training.
When they were here training. They never asked about...
anything else other than that, any time periods other than that.
And yet both you and the night driver at the time were less than a month before the attack.
Oh, we knew we drove him around because as soon as I saw the picture, I, knew right away when I saw the picture because it had only been a couple weeks, 3-4 weeks since I'd driven him around. And it was like, that's the guy I just drove around. Just how big is the FBI's 9/11 cover-up in Venice, Florida? Dutch national Rudy Dekker testified under oath before Congress that his arm's-length relationship with the terrorist ringleader ended in December of 2000. Guess what? He's lying. Did you see Mohammed Atta and Rudy Dekker together? That summer I'd taken them together. The first time, July maybe, June. It was early in the summer. A month before the attack, Rudy Dekker and Mohammed Atta both together rode in my cab around Venice and one trip to Sarasota to a nightclub, the Gator Club.
How did you know it was Rudy Dekker's?
Oh, I seen him all the time at Huffman. I'd been driving his students around for the last couple years. And when they first get here, he comes out and introduces them to me and usually pays for the cab and tells me the hotel they're staying at. And a lot of times it was apartments either on Airport Ave or Base Ave. There was also an apartment. 460, 120 Base Ave, the apartment number, and a lot of them stayed there.
When Dekkers and Atta were in your cab, were they friendly? Were they talking?
Yeah, they sat in the back seat and they talked together, and they seemed like they'd known each other a long time because they went out together. They went out to eat at lunch the one time from Huffman at James' place, and they went to the Gator Club together. You know, they weren't going to signing a business agreement. They were dressed to go out.
And how long was this before the September 11th attack?
2 weeks, maybe 3, maybe, but within a couple weeks, because I remember distinctively him, his face, the Muhammad guy. Based on Simpson's statements to the FBI, several Saudis with Atta and Dekker that night were picked up right after the attack. And the night at the Gator Club, there was actually 2 other guys. Turned out to be the guys that lived over here on Airport Avenue that I ended up taking to the state's attorney. They also went out with him that night. So there was, because one of the young student guys sat up front with me, another one, and Rudy Dekker and Mohammed Atta sat in the back seat. There was 4 of them.
from eyewitnesses like Bob Simpson, we get a sense of the immensity of the intrigue going on in Florida and its subsequent cover-up. For example, Atta and Marwan hung out in an apartment rented by a Lebanese man named Makram Chams, who Simpson ferried to Orlando International Airport to pick up a rich Saudi financier.
They told me they had me on videotape at Orlando, and I had went in prior to Christmas, not too long before Christmas, because he told me he was actually picking somebody up that he knew and his wife. They were coming to spend Christmas with them. And I took him to Orlando Airport under the quick check, and he rode with me all the way, and we waited 2 hours there while these people went through international customs. And they didn't really ask me a whole lot of questions about him personally or anything. They just asked me where I had taken him to, and I told them this apartment right here, and that he was here approximately 2 months. I brought his wife back, and 2 weeks later, I brought him back.
Through the simple expedient of committing journalism, look at what we've learned just by interviewing a local yellow cab driver who witnessed just a tiny piece of the plot. Then a self-described U.S. Navy SEAL named Joe Jessel came to Venice for just 1 month, the last month Atta was here, and drove him around in a cab. We've heard about a Lebanese man, Makram Chams, whose apartment was used as a rendezvous by Mohammed Atta and his bodyguard Marwan al-Shady, who disappeared right after the attack. His store has been abandoned since. And about a mysterious and still unnamed rich Saudi financier who came to see him and spent 2 months in Venice. 4 years after the attack, it's still amazing to realize how little we've been allowed to know of what was going on. And here's something even more amazing. While digging for clues and interviewing eyewitnesses in Venice, Florida, the place where the terrorist conspiracy was centered right up until just days before the attack, we've been all alone. Paging Dorothy Kilgallen, white courtesy telephone, please.